My marriage to Clara felt like something out of a storybook. We were high school sweethearts, the kind of couple everyone said would last forever. For 15 years, they were right. Our life was a beautiful routine filled with laughter, shared dreams, and a deep, comfortable love. We had 2 amazing kids, a house in the suburbs, and a golden retriever named Buddy. It was perfect, or so I thought. The change was subtle at first. It started about 6 months ago. Clara began talking about needing to distress. She said the pressures of work and motherhood were getting to her, and she needed some time to herself. Her solution? Late-night walks. Every evening, around 10 o'clock, after the kids were asleep and the house was quiet, she'd put on her sneakers and head out the door. "Just need to clear my head," she'd say, with a quick kiss on my cheek. At first, I didn't think anything of it. I was supportive. I tell her, "Take all the time you need, honey. I'll be here." I admired her commitment to her well-being. The walk seemed to help. She'd come back looking refreshed, a little flushed from the exercise, and would sleep soundly. I was happy that she'd found something that worked for her. But as weeks turned into months, the walks got longer. And an hour turned into an hour and a half, then sometimes 2. I started to feel a small, nagging seed of doubt. Why did she need to be out so late, for so long? Our neighborhood was safe, but still, it was dark. I'd text her just to check in. "Everything okay?" Her replies were always brief. "Yep, just enjoying the quiet. We're almost home." One night I couldn't sleep. It was nearing midnight and she still wasn't back. I paced the living room, my anxiety growing with every tick of the clock. When she finally walked in, I couldn't hide my concern. "Clara, it's so late." I was worried sick. She just shrugged off her jacket. "I told you. I just needed a long walk. You worry too much." Her tone was defensive, a little sharp. It wasn't like her. That night, the seed of doubt started to sprout. I began noticing other small things. She was more protective of her phone, always keeping it face down. She started dressing up more for her walks, wearing nicer workout clothes and a touch of makeup. "Who are you trying to impress? The raccoons?" I joked once. She didn't laugh. She just gave me a cold stare and said, "I want to feel good about myself." The loving intimacy we once shared started to fade. Our late-night talks were replaced by her late-night walks. When she came home, she'd just slip into bed and turn her back to me. The emotional distance was becoming a giant chasm between us. I tried to talk to her about it, to bridge the gap. "Is everything okay with us?" I asked one evening. She avoided my eyes. "Everything's fine, Mark. You're just being paranoid." The word paranoid stung. Was I inventing problems where there were none? I tried to push the thoughts away, to trust my wife, the woman I'd loved for half my life. But my gut was screaming at me that something was terribly wrong. I felt like I was losing my mind, caught between my love for her and the growing mountain of evidence that something was off. The breaking point came on our 16th wedding anniversary. I'd planned a special evening. I cooked her favorite meal, bought a beautiful bouquet of roses, and even got a babysitter for the kids so we could have the house to ourselves. I was hoping for a return to the way things were, a night to reconnect. She seemed happy enough during dinner, but as soon as we finished, she started getting ready. "I'm just going for a quick walk," she said, avoiding my gaze. "A walk? Tonight, Clara? It's our anniversary," I pleaded. My heart sank. "I won't be long," she promised, already halfway out the door. I stood there, alone in our dining room, surrounded by the remnants of what was supposed to be a celebration. The silence of the house was deafening. That's when I knew I couldn't live with the doubt anymore. I had to know the truth, no matter how much it might hurt. The next night, my heart pounding in my chest, I decided to follow her. It felt wrong, a complete violation of trust, but what choice did I have? I waited 10 minutes after she left, then quietly slipped out. I kept my distance, hiding in the shadows of trees and parked cars. She walked at a brisk pace, not like someone just clearing her head, but like someone with a destination. She didn't stick to our neighborhood. She walked several blocks over, to an area I barely recognized. Then, she stopped. She stood under a streetlight, checking her phone. A moment later, a car pulled up. The passenger door opened, and a man got out. He was tall, well-dressed, and he wasn't a stranger. It was David, her new manager from work. The one she'd been talking about. The one who was so supportive and really understood the pressures she was under. My blood ran cold. I watched in frozen horror as he wrapped his arms around her, and then he kissed her. It was a long, passionate kiss that shattered my world into a million pieces. She kissed him back with the same intensity. The woman I loved, the mother of my children, was in another man's arms. Her late-night walks weren't for clearing her head, they were for meeting him. I couldn't breathe. It felt like a physical blow, knocking the wind out of me. I watched as they got into his car and drove away. I just stood there on that dark street, completely numb. I don't know how long I was there before I managed to stumble home. The walk back was a blur of pain and betrayal. Every step was agony. The life I thought I had, the love I thought was real, it was all a lie. When I got home, I went straight to our bedroom and started packing a bag for her. I laid out all the photos of us from our wedding, our vacations, our family moments. I couldn't look at them without feeling a fresh wave of nausea. When she finally came home, just after midnight, she had a smile on her face. The same refreshed look she always had after her walks. The smile vanished when she saw me standing there next to her packed bag. "What's going on?" she asked, her voice filled with fake innocence. I didn't shout. I didn't scream. My voice was eerily calm. "Your walks are over, Clara. I know where you've been. Know about David." The color drained from her face. For the first time in months, she couldn't hide behind her lies. She tried to deny it, to twist the story, but I just held up my hand. "Don't. Just don't. I saw you." The silence that followed was heavy with the weight of her betrayal. The tears started streaming down her face, but I felt nothing. No pity, no sympathy, just a vast, empty coldness. The days that followed were the hardest of my life. We had to tell the kids, we had to start the process of separating our lives, a life we had spent 15 years building together. It was a messy, painful, and heartbreaking process. The trust that was once the foundation of our marriage had been completely destroyed, and there was no rebuilding it. Looking back, I realized the walks were just a symptom of a deeper problem. Our communication had broken down, and instead of facing it together, she chose to seek comfort elsewhere. Betrayal is a wound that cuts deep, and while it may eventually scar over, it never truly disappears. My storybook marriage had a tragic ending, and now I have to learn how to write a new chapter, one where I am the sole author. It's a daunting task, but a necessary one for my own healing and for the future of my children. Thank you for listening to my story. If you've been through something similar, know that you are not alone. Healing takes time, but it is possible. Please subscribe for more stories, and take care of yourselves.